All right, so lots of times I like to start with the sky because the sky is the thing that really gives you the biggest indication of what kind of day it is. But I think right now I'm going to start with the house because the house is the lightest light. And I'm going to try to be pretty brave and start with just some things that are, anyway, kind of exaggerations. The thing is, that, whoa, if I am ever like in front of this and don't seem to know I am, just somebody's gonna have to unmute and say, get out of the way. Whoa, what are you doing? Thank you. Oh my God, it's just one technological thing after another. Okay, so there's my house in light. I think my roof in the light looks kind of orange, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make it orange. And this is kind of the way I do things. If it looks a little bit orange, I'll just make it a lot orange. And it's not like I'm planning to leave it some like bizarre Fauves thing. It's just I want to try to start it with a bold statement, because then as I refine it, that bold statement becomes less bold. And then I was thinking, when I was sitting here by myself, I was thinking, wow, that looks so pink, the shadows. So I'm just going to do that because that's pretty much out of my comfort zone to make a shadow on a white house such a bright pink.
It doesn't look pink from here. I mean, the White House, not yours. Yours looks pink, but huh.
Well, the idea of the artist is to show people more than they can see on their own. So, so that is, I don't know if goal is the right word for that, but that's one of my goals, is to show people more than they could see on their own, because otherwise, in a way, what would be the point of me? I don't know, there's all that stuff about how art should challenge your perception of the world and all that, but I don't know. I just like people to see. I just want to, I don't know, I'm so like, I guess, egotistical. I just want to share my vision of the world. I mean, everybody that walks by here is going to say, oh, look, it's a White House. I mean, not when they walk by this painting. They're going to say, what? Who lives there? But when they walk by the house in real life, they're going to say, it's White House. That's what they're going to say. And so hopefully, as an artist, I think your job is to show them more than they can see on their own. And it's not going to stay this way. I mean, there's plenty of artists that, what is it, Susan Abbott? Her paintings kind of stay this way. She's amazing. But anyway, yeah, her paintings sort of stayed this way. And oh no, you're not there. But I'm actually planning to try to bring it back to some sort of reality. The one color I can't go too off the deep end on is red, because red is, the reds are very hard. So if you start the red colors with something besides red and then try to put red on top, that can be really hard. And then there's these little trees here, and I was like, do I care about those fussy little things? And even though I drew them in, I think my answer is no, I do not care about those fussy little things. And I've been really trying to figure out how to finish paintings or resolve them or bring them to some sort of conclusion without having to do all the fussy little things that generally you think of as finishing a picture. So yeah, don't know the answer. Maybe the painting I'm working on now is, I mean, I'm obviously doing it from a photograph, but yeah, obviously I'm doing it from a photograph because it's of Castle Vecchio and it's a bunch of people in a folk group dancing. But I'm feeling kind of pleased about it all. But where to go without like wrecking it is kind of a problem. So now the grass, like a lot of times I'll start the grass yellow, but I don't know. I thought I would just do something really radical and start the grass green, because I feel like when I start the grass, I just want to start the grass a little darker, but still give it sort of a sunlight feel. And this is, oh, the colors on my screen, the colors look really good. I hope they look good for you too. I have to say this, just regular Canon camera is, even though it's a little flaky to get it figured out, it has so much better color than the other camera that I used, like for that video on doing the watercolor. Okay, so that's an olive green. I digressed from that. And yeah, so I don't know, why not use the right color one place in the world? And then these trees in the background, I just want to start them dark too. So I'm just going to use a dark bluish green. So the one thing always, and I feel like you all have heard me say all these things 1,000 times, but Candy maybe hasn't heard me say them 1,000 times. So yeah, so pastels, the one technical consideration you have to keep track of is that it's easier to get light over dark. And so if you start way too light, then you can't, it's just more difficult. It's not possible, but it's more difficult because the darker colors are physically harder than the lighter colors. So and if you do a lot of watercolors, sometimes it's kind of an awkward thing to try to remember. And even for me, I have to think about it to say it, because what? You should work light over dark? That's unheard of. Okay, so see, like I started with that really bright orange roof, but then I can just come back and put a little light pink on top of it to make it look a little brighter. And I think it looks a little bit blue. Don't ask me why I've decided to improve this right this minute when there's so much other stuff. Okay, but like trees and stuff, and even the grass, that's why it just came to me that maybe I'd start the grass a little darker than normal. Trees, you really want to get a sense of the depth in the trees. So
You're
by
working
starting,
on trees, we can't see you. It's not, you're blocked or something.
oh, it
It's not-
froze. How
you're
about
not moving.
now?
Nope.
What does that mean?
I can see you. And it moves, it's
Can you
pretty.
see green?
I can see you fine.
Yep, you're
Oh,
moving.
well, okay, maybe it's my screen.
You can't see anything, Betty?
Now I can. Now I can.
Okay.
I see the green and I don't know what happened. But okay.
Well,
Thank
things
you.
happen, and you keep freezing too, so I don't know if someone else is streaming on their other device, you're going to have trouble. I had to go tell my husband to turn off his iPad. So like now you're kind of frozen there, Betty. So,
Yeah.
oh my God. Okay.
So,
Okay, I'm just muting everybody again. So if you have any problems, just unmute and talk to me. Okay, so yeah, start dark and then come lighter. So now I don't know why I have this in my hand. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so what I'm gonna, I guess I should have done these things first. So let me just do the windows and all first. I'm just gonna, I don't know what color they are. I'm just gonna do something. And the door. It's so funny. I keep looking at my computer screen instead of looking right here at this picture I have right here. Don't know why. I just get confused. And then I have to squint because I can't really see it over there. Okay, so the shutters, you know, I'm just going to use sort of a dark something here, dark blue.
Janine,
Yeah.
I noticed that you used the same blue on the side and the front windows. Is that correct?
I don't know. They look about the same to me. I don't know. They're reflecting the sky, you know.
Probably you would have chosen something darker for the ones in the front, but you know, you're the.
Okay, I fixed them, Grace. I guess I just didn't think they looked that different, but I guess they are a little different. They're in fact greener, so I don't know what that's about. But anyway, let me just make them a little greener. Okay, so once I have everything covered, then what I'm going to do is come back and just try to make everything better. Oh, there's a few things I didn't do here. Okay, stupid sidewalk. You know, I don't know. The sidewalk looks pink too, because what the heck? We're just going to have pink everywhere. And I'm just going to make the steps here on the top a little pink too. And then on the sides, just because it's here, I grabbed it. I'm going to use the darker blue just to do the sides of the steps. Oh yeah, and there's that little bush business.
Are you going to put a chimney on it?
Oh my God, the chimney. No,
And there's a bush at the back of the house too.
no. I forgot the chimney. That's something I was supposed to do when I was here drawing. All right. Okay. The chimney, like, okay, there's ways to figure this all out, but I'm just not going to right this second. Just going to wing it. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is good enough. Okay, so now I'm going to try to go back and make everything better. And I think the sky, maybe, no, not you. That's no good. No good, no good. Maybe this. It's really important to have enough blues when you're doing landscape, because like that one I picked up, I didn't change things much. Now you might not even be able to tell. It's just, it's a little greener blue. And then, I don't know, here's some clouds sort of doing something like this. If you have to put like a really lighter blue, if you don't have the kind of the right blue and you have to add something just to try to lighten your other blue, it kind of makes it look like one of those really steamy summer days. You lose that that bright blue thing that's going on. So I never do anything, hardly ever, I can't say never, but I usually don't do anything weird in the sky, unless you say purple clouds are weird. I don't know. Usually I just go with it because I don't want my sky to get muddy. So I'm being pretty literal always in the sky, or another description of it might be academic, which means you're doing what you know instead of what you see. But everything else, I'm trying to, everything else I do, I'm not trying to even remember the things I know, which luckily is getting harder or easier and easier not to like remember stuff. But I want to experience it kind of in a fresh way and not rely on memory or something. Oh, golly. Okay, so now what I do is I come back and I try to make it all better. So like the house, obviously the house is not that yellow, so I'll just make it pink. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to use the white yet until I'm really like, no, I'm kind of done. Although, you know, you can come back after you spray it and put more colors back into it. So I just want to sort of get all the things I think I see in there before I put the white on, but then I just guess I'll just go ahead and do that. And this is very much just an underpainting. So my strokes are just going in the directions that I need them to do to be able to cover it. I'm not like, also it is awkward here. My setup is still awkward for going different directions with my strokes. But anyway, so I'm not trying to refine it particularly with the whole drawing situation. I'm just trying to make the color better. Like here, I went completely out of the, all right, let's just see, what can I do about this? Is also green, kind of an olivey green, also just a lighter one. And I'm still not going to linger any place very long because, like I say, I'm just trying to make it better. And because the way I work is, I can't, okay, I'll try. The way I work is about relationships. Like it doesn't make sense for a painter like me to finish things too much separately at one time. Makes much more sense to keep going over, like adding a little bit to each thing and then coming back and adding more and refining the color. But I gotta say right now, I'm not refining my drawing at all. And it's kind of liberating. I'm just letting it go. And the thing is, you can always come back and redraw with a piece of charcoal. So you don't really need to worry about, don't worry about anything. It's funny, like I'll say that, but then I'll say, like, if you're not feeling really worried, you're probably not taking enough chances. Too late. Probably too dark, but yep, too dark. One thing that's kind of cool about this is like when you do a building, I mean, it's kind of like a still life because you have just so many, it's very structured, obviously, I guess, but in a way, trees and stuff are kind of harder because they don't have those, yeah, they're a little, they're not as organized, I guess. And one thing I've really liked painting is things that combine both things that are made by humans and things that are natural, because I like that contrast between the organic and the inorganic world. So now I'm just going to do a little bit on these trees in the back and then call it quits. But sorry, I can't see it well enough. I just have to look at it for a minute. Okay, so the light is clearly, why did I even have to ask that question? Here's a shadow, so I know the light is coming from here. So I'm just going to kind of take a color, a lighter color, and also a yellower color that gives me the sense of sunlight shining on the trees. And I'm going to put that in on the that side. And I can still, even though I said, you know, that it's harder to get light, dark over light, I can still, it's not like it's impossible. It's just sometimes it can make your work look a little weak or something. It doesn't have the same kind of strength. It gets sort of cloudy or something. Yeah, and so I'm not worried about any descriptive strokes right now, particularly. I'm just trying to get it all covered and make it all better, each thing better. And so the first time I went over it, and I am going really fast, but this is kind of my speed. When I'm starting things, things slow down more later. But now I've done basically, I've covered it all 2 times. So that's basically, I did 2 lay-ins. Oh, I didn't do the windows. Yeah, they do look funny. Okay. And now they don't look funny. Oops. Through the pastel. Okay, does anybody have any last minute questions? Because otherwise I'm going to turn off this camera, which is easier than turning it on.
Yeah, would you continue a little bit with the windows so I can see how you put in the whatever you call those divider things? I forget.
Oh my God, the mullions.
Them.
Okay, well, that would be days from now, but yes,
Oh,
I
okay,
just,
all right, well, then don't.
no, it's okay. They have to follow a, you know, a perspective line too. And then a lot of times I don't, like this is what, 6/6 or 8/8. A lot of times I don't do that. And one thing about windows is if, no matter how dark they look, if you make them super dark, it'll look like the glass is broken. So you want to, I'm just gonna use a piece of charcoal because I like to get these guys back in a little bit. So yeah, so you don't want to make them super dark. And sometimes I'll just lie like a rug and maybe put a little reflection even on the dark side in a window, something like that, just to make it look like there was glass in it and that the sky was reflecting on the windows. So I don't know, was that helpful, Grace? Or
Yes, except that it looks like you have crosses in each of the windows on the side. Looks like a church now. I'm sure that's what you meant.
I did. Okay, I was trying to hurry, but you know, if you
I'm
want to do
sorry.
more, no, it's okay. I
That's okay.
appreciate it.
I'm very sorry. I'm going away now.
No, don't go away. Didn't I say to ask questions and I bite your head off?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it's little and it's fiddly, and it would be, you know, I would do it as much as I wanted to do it. Let's just see. Let me see if I can really do it. It's just the lines are so tiny and this tiny little painting. And I'm just gonna have to hang on for a minute. So you're gonna have to deal with my head in the way. It's a nice thing in Italy. There's no mullions. All right, you probably can't even see it. So that would just be a start, but obviously I would have to keep going until they looked real and perfect, because that's the kind of guy I am.
Janine, you said you
Yeah.
did 2 lay-ins. How many lay-ins do you generally do, or is there no generally?
Usually I would say 2. I feel like my paintings go better when I do 2, which all that means is that before I start doing more details and stuff, I cover everything twice. And this is such a wild and crazy lay-in that I might feel like I had to do it again. So it's basically, the idea is that you just are going to keep it not divided up into more parts until you've made it as good as you can with the big parts. So it's I'm gonna switch cameras here. So it's yeah, it's just that let's see, I can't think and turn the camera on evidently. Okay, so I always think of it like this: if you were juggling and you couldn't juggle 3 balls, why would you think you could juggle 5? So turn off, you son of a gun. Oh, nope, my life. Okay, so you know, so like, so I just keep it with 3 balls, like whatever I have here now. I have like 10 areas that I'm trying to contrast and compare with each other. So until I have those 10 as good as I can make them, I don't break things down more and make more details, because, and I think a lot of times people think that is what is going to save them, but it's not. It's having a better start. The better your start is, the better your finish will be. So finishing more because you're having anxiety about how it looks. Okay, you don't have to bring me anything else, but thank you so much. No, thank you so much. Okay, how's that for an answer to that question about lay-ins? So keep it simple until the only way to make it better is to make it more complicated.
But question, when Jane asked how many layers, you did 2 layers on everything, maybe 3 on a few of them, and then you spray it, and then you do more layers, right?
Well, on this paper, I don't have to spray it that often.
Okay. But you won't finish it with 2 layers. You'll do more.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Like you know, I don't know how many times I go over things, but a lot. You know, I don't really think of it as discrete times, but this one I started the top, or well, I started where I started. I covered the whole thing, and then I covered the whole thing again. And then obviously I would just keep doing that. But at some point I would start having to work longer in certain areas to make them more of a center of interest.